You should make a key prediction about the telecommunications industry, say in the next 10 years. What would it look like?
So to me, it's a no-brainer, and everybody has been saying it. Oh, AI is going to take your job. They will take your job.
Oh, wow.
They are going to take every customer service representative's job. That is going to happen.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Industry by Mustard Insights, where we take a deep dive into certain industries that are under our radar. So today we are taking a deep dive into the telecommunications industry, specifically cloud telephony. Now we have Mrs. Unoma Adeyemi, who is one of the co-founders of PressOne. Really excited to have you on the show.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. So we typically start the show with a data point, and so let's take it this way. 90% or over 90% of businesses in Nigeria are SMEs, and they contribute just about 50% to our GDP. What percentage of this would you say use cloud telephony?
Wow. What percentage of SMEs use cloud telephony? And this is my rough guesstimate, about 1%, or even less. And there are reasons for this. The first question you should ask is how many businesses rely on cloud infrastructure to run their business. And if they do rely on that, how many of them actually realize that you can run your phone conversations on that cloud infrastructure? Not many. And the few that do realize it, before our entrance into the markets, the only other way to introduce cloud telephony into your business operations will require you getting some data servers, being a proper setup, which most small businesses cannot afford. You have to kind of move from a small business to a medium business to afford business telephony solutions. So what we did was, I like to say, democratize business communications in such a way that any business, no matter how small you are, you could be a kiosk, it doesn't really matter. And as long as you had a phone, you could have access to business-grade communication solutions like CRM, voice recording, phone sharing through an app. And that's what we do at PressOne.
Awesome. So just as a background, can you tell us about your personal background and how you got into this space?
Okay, started my career as an investment banker, and about 5 years in, I just realized it wasn't for me. I wanted my work to be more embedded in the pulse of the nation, the pulse of whatever location I find myself. I feel investment banking serves too much of the 1%. I needed something that would eventually lead to a structural innovation of my community at large. So I made a decision to switch from finance to technology, and I did that. And I got into Microsoft, and from Microsoft to other big high-tech companies before we decided to found PressOne Africa. That's my story.
Awesome. Yeah. So for those who are not familiar with PressOne, could you speak to what the company does and the challenges that you're solving?
So I'm going to try and simplify this and just put a case to you, and then you understand what exactly we do in the simplest form.
Okay.
Now, let's say you want to start a bakery business. You make cupcakes. What is the first thing that you would do when you want to start a business phone for that business? What would you do?
So I would get a new SIM card, and then I'll get a dedicated phone, and maybe assign someone to man it.
Exactly. Now, in this use case that you have painted, how can you tell the number of calls that come into your business based on that use case?
It's probably be a manual ledger. Somebody has to manually note every single call that comes in.
Exactly. And then that person is noting, it's actually up to that person to
not make a mistake.
To tell the truth.
Yeah.
Okay, aside from that, okay, the conversations that happen over the phone, how do you know that the person you've assigned this phone to is putting out your brand as you would like it in every phone call?
You probably have to you train the person and then you hope and pray that the person does not.
Exactly that, right? So what we do is we give visibility to business owners, to entrepreneurs, on all the conversations that happen on their phone, on their business phone. And why is it important for a small business to have these insights? It's simple. It will help you grow. It will help you improve your branding. It will help you also ensure that your level of customer service is top notch. Basically, what you want your customers to experience when they interact with your brand is what is being carried out. And yeah, that's what we do at PressOne. So we do a simple app, both on the mobile phone or the web. You have access to a business phone that you can share with anyone, as many staff as you want. As a business owner, you're able to listen in on those conversations to know that, oh, what I have told Sade to say, she has said it properly in the right manner at the right timing, etc. Also, you can track all your orders because every phone call, especially if your business relies on phone calls for revenue, you can track every order that came in. You can track how it went and how it was completed, right? So that's what we do. And like I said, it's available to any business with an app. You have a phone, it's a virtual number. You have a phone, you have the number. You as the entrepreneur, as the business owner now has visibility into what is happening in your business, which is something that, like you just mentioned, wasn't available before.
Yeah.
And that's what we've done. Typically, for you to have this kind of insight, you'll have to have had data. You have to have built like your data center and have somebody come in with boxes and provide that. It's not that it wasn't available. It was just inconvenient, too expensive for small businesses. And that's what we've done.
So one number can cater to multiple users?
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. So, I mean, we know that the telecommunications space is vast. You know, the market size is in billions and billions.
Trillions, if you're talking
trillions.
naira. Billions, dollars, trillions, naira.
Yes. So on the back of that, and knowing it's a small space, could you estimate the I don't know, percentage or the market size of cloud telephony?
Okay, so you're asking two different questions. Now, the telecommunications market or industry is where my solution sits, right?
Okay.
Because it's communications in the end, right? Now, how big is that market? Is in trillions. For Nigeria alone, I would say maybe under 10 trillion, right? In revenue attainable in a year. And now when you say how much is addressable to SMEs, it depends. The solutions that are available, are there solutions available to them? No. So if there are more solutions available, then we can now estimate from there. But right now, I would say, it's less than 1% that is available to small businesses now. Not because it's not possible, but because the bigger players are not motivated to provide that service. And why they're not motivated? Because in the end, let's say 1% of 5 trillion is not a lot of money when you can get another trillion servicing retail, another trillion servicing some big enterprises. Why will I put human beings to go after the mass market that will get me an extra billion or 500 billion? Do you understand? They are not motivated. Not that they can't do it, but they're not motivated to do it. So that's why players like myself, like us at PressOne, come in to help serve the underserved, which are businesses in Nigeria.
But there's a market potential, you see, that allows you.
Of course, there is a huge market potential. Across the world, let's use America. It's not the same market, but let's use them. Why I say it's not the same market, because the infrastructure for cloud, the infrastructure for telephony, for telecommunications is light years ahead of what's available here in Nigeria, right? So, and also the sophistication of the SME businesses, right? Light years ahead. But in that market, we have SMEs, cloud solution, cloud telephony doing at least maybe 25, 10, between 15 and 20% of the general telecommunications. And that's a lot of money in the US, right? And here, we're here struggling with sub 1%, right? So the potential is large, but there has to be infrastructural the investments to birth it or to bring it out or to hone it, as the case may be.
Okay. So now, I mean, aside the example you gave, a cake business, people who are dealing with orders, for people who are just in the service space, for example, how would you say, is it something that people are receptive to, to
Absolutely.
customer support, specifically in Nigeria? I just assume, I could be wrong, that is not something that people do prioritize.
Customer service?
Yes.
Yes, you are not completely wrong. Most small businesses don't really prioritize customer service. And as a Nigerian living in Nigeria, you experience this every day.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's because Nigerians don't value customer service, whether the customers or the business owners don't value customer service. They are not just aware of what they can do with the insights that they get, which is why the bigger companies who know that, the backbone of my business, my revenue year on year is dependent on my customer coming back, they understand the opportunity costs of losing customers. That's why, quote and unquote, they invest in customer service solutions. A small business it's not real to them yet.
Yeah.
So how do we make it real to them? Thankfully, the world of social media is helping. Cancellation is helping. And then small businesses are realizing that, look, I need to pay more attention to how I service my customers, how I ensure repeat businesses, because it's repeat businesses that is the lifeline of any business, of any company, right? So with that, should I say, awakening, the potential for more businesses to subscribe to solutions like ours is, of course, growing.
What would you say, in your opinion, some of the cultural and operational challenges that are hindering businesses from adopting solutions as yours?
What I'll say is cultural. A cultural challenge is, if it ain't broke, why are we changing it, right?
Yeah.
People are just used to buying a phone for their business. It's just what they do, right? So why am I changing it? You're changing it because the world is changing. Businesses are changing. The way to do business is changing as well. And if you're stuck in the brick and mortar way, I like to call it, brick and mortar way of doing business, you will be stuck behind and you will not be able to tap into the growth that is happening for businesses generally. And at the end, your business will shut down, for lack of a nicer way to put it. So the cultural, like I said, if it ain't broke, people don't want to change it, right? But which is why it is one of our, I won't call it mantras, it's just one of the things that keeps us going, is to educate the small business owner what they are missing out on for not adopting it. And I wouldn't say it's a, should I say, an adoption problem. Like, it's not like, the technology is so advanced that you can't easily adopt it. Every business owner today is using one app for something. And the easiest one I can, should I say, compare it to is WhatsApp for Business.
Yeah.
Right? People run their businesses on WhatsApp for Business, and sometimes they might use it to make calls. It's the exact same thing. It's the exact same user experience. The difference is the numbers are, you have more insights that WhatsApp, due to compliance and regulation policies, can never give you, right?
Yeah.
So why not? So we've not had any, to be honest, we've not had any conversation with any small business that doesn't quickly download or quickly start using us. That has never been our problem. So the cultural barriers are very thin and easily broken down. The operational barriers don't exist. This makes your life easier as a business owner. So that has never been a problem. So if anything, it's the cultural. It's just, oh, I just how the way I'm doing it. I'm making my calls. But I guess it's most people, until they get burnt in that traditional way of doing business over your phone, they don't see the necessity. But it's not that it doesn't exist. And what we do is try to make sure that you don't get burnt. So our evangelists, our advocates go out there saying, this is why you need to do this, I need to do this now. So yeah, that's it. Let me stop there.
Yes. So if you were going to, just on the back of that, emphasize the potential losses, from not having access to this data or the calls or all of that, what angle?
So that's not quantifiable. Why? Because there's a lot of data sets that are required to produce that. Number one, you have to at least know the amount of opportunities that a typical business will get typically without this intervention.
Yeah.
Then you now have to compare that to a business that has the intervention. Now, because we don't have a lot of businesses that have the intervention in our markets, it's difficult to say, okay, this is how much you're missing, right? What I would say, what I say is the best way to, should I say, quantify it is the number of stock you still have.
Yeah.
Because if everything, your sales cycle is working as it should, you should be selling out.
Yeah.
You should be selling out through whatever business tools that you put. And if you're not selling out, that is the cost to you.
Yeah.
And until you get the insights that you need to make the changes you need to make in your company or your operations, you will always have that as a cost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what about the infrastructural aspect of it? So some could argue that broadband penetration is not exactly where it needs to be yet and all of that.
And they will be right. They will be absolutely right. One of our challenges as a company is some businesses say, oh, the internet is not great where I am. And this is a solution that runs on the internet. And like I said, it's infrastructural based. But the good news is there's been a lot of investments with the telcos of Nigeria, so the MTNs, the Airtels, and the like, have realized the need to actually pour this. It's not like they didn't know that it was necessary, but the regulatory, the pricing, a lot of things were holding our mobile networks to invest in those solutions, mostly structural, mostly regulatory, right? But those have been relaxed now. So now they are now investing to ensure that the right level of technology is invested to make all solutions via voice, data are working as they should, as they work everywhere else in the world, right? So there's hope in that light that, okay, this will be solved. And actually, one of the things I mentioned, the Nigerian Communications Commission has done is that they've opened up new licenses, which are called mobile virtual network operator licenses. What that means is these new companies or these new licensees are able to provide exactly the same things the MTNs, the Airtels, the Glos, and the T2s are doing, but they're going to ride off the infrastructure of these people because they have infrastructure that isn't fully utilized, right? Which is redundant, right? So if these MNOs, the MTN, the Airtels, the Glos, and the T2s have spent so much money investing on towers, investing on data centers, investing on this, and they are not at full capacity, it's a waste. It's a waste for the country, it's a waste for them. So what they do is they partner with these MVNOs, and the MVNOs are then choosing to serve the underserved markets. Right? What they do is now they now roll out similar services to the underserved, the SMEs, for example, underserved. There are many other underserved markets. And like I said, the NC just rolled this, not just, but let's say 2023. And these new companies are going to be rolling out very soon. And soon you will see more solutions available, not just for businesses, but like any cadre of underserved markets in the telecommunications industry will be served in the next year or so.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So just in terms of your business model, particularly for someone who is not familiar with this and is thinking, okay, scalability wise, yes, it is built for scale, but is it that every time someone calls me, the cost I'm paying is going to increase, or what does your business model look like?
When you receive a call today, do you incur any costs?
When you receive a
When
call,
you
no.
recall, no. So you don't call. When anybody calls, you don't. You do. It's when you call. That's standard. When you call people, you will run out of your airtime. So it's the same. It's the same operational
So no matter
model.
how many calls a business receives, they're paying a fixed cost.
You're not. So when you say they're paying a subscription fee to
A
our service.
subscription fee for your
Yes,
service.
they
Yes.
are.
And it
But
is fixed.
it's fixed per month.
Okay.
Yes. And but when you're calling out, it's the same. It's comparable to the rates when you call out on your phone by yourself.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome. So would you say that structured call data is a key business asset, just as fintechs will have transaction data?
Absolutely. If you're not monitoring the behavior of your customers as a business, you're on a long thing. I'm sorry to go into it's like you are so far behind. I can't even imagine how you're still surviving as a business. There's so much you can draw out of call data. There's so much. Not only the timing, what times work best for this product to speak to a customer. There's so much. I can't. The metadata is overwhelming if you don't know what to do with it. But thankfully, our software can arranges it and sorts it in a way that is readable, and you can.
So it does some analysis.
It does, of course, definitely. There's no way we'll be providing this kind of service without helping you read the data, understand what it means for your business. So yes, short answer, absolutely yes.
And just a side question, in terms of safety, my data is safe on your platform?
Also, we're regulated by the same people regulating every other platform that collects data or information from users, right? So the NDPR, NCC, and they are actually quite strict. As a new entrant into the communications industry, I was surprised at how strict they are. But it makes sense. It's communications, people who are airing sensitive information. It makes sense for them to have such a tight fence around it. And it gives, a reassurance for you as the user that indeed I am safe.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. So thank you so much. We just have one last question, which is that you should make a key prediction about the telecommunications industry, say in the next 10 years. What will it look like?
So to me, it's a no-brainer, and everybody has been saying it. Oh, AI is going to take your job. They will take your job.
Oh, wow.
They're going to take every customer service representative's job. That is going to happen. So that is the key prediction. There will be AI and automation in service delivery and service management. There will also be a lot of reliance on insights for every business. So that's the major prediction.
In what way does your company skip that challenge?
Why are we skipping? We're going to embrace it. Why are we skipping? There's nothing to skip. It's the natural progression of what's going to happen. What we're doing as a company at PressOne is, look, we are adapting to that and ensuring that the version of artificial intelligence that is going to serve this market will speak to us, will give us insights that are only native to our location. And that is what a business will value once they get those insights from these conversations. And that's what we're just going to align with.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. This has been another amazing session of Industry by Mustard Insights. Special thanks to our guests.
My absolute pleasure being here.
Thank you so much. Remember to catch our previous episodes, and until next time.